Live from Midland, Odessa, and Big Spring, this is ABC Big 2 News at 6.
In Texas, we're on the front lines of the fentanyl crisis.
If I have to stand on the corner of 42nd and Grandview with a megaphone, I'm going to do that. We've got to get the word out that, look, you're going to pay the price.
There's enough fentanyl overdoses nationwide that it actually comes down to and equals one Midland resident dying every single week.
These kids are dealing with so much more than she and I did, and you and I did.
It's a very heart-wrenching, it's unimaginable to lose a child, especially to something like this.
I know nothing is more important than protecting our kids. It only takes 2 milligrams of fentanyl to kill a grown adult.
But every Texan has a role to play when it comes to ending the fentanyl crisis.
We'd rather arrest their kid than put them in a bag.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight as we raise awareness about a dangerous drug on Fentanyl Awareness Day. I'm Madeline Bierster.
And I'm Mike Mahoney. And according to the CDC, more than 150 people die every day from overdoses related to synthetic opioids like fentanyl.
Even in small doses, fentanyl can be deadly, and new predictive analytics from the CDC indicate those numbers are only expected to go up.
And this deadly drug is now leaving families grieving across the country and across West Texas. And that includes the family of Jackson Warnick, who is looking back on a life lost far too soon.
His family is sitting down with us tonight to share their story and the impact this drug will forever have on their lives. Jackson Warnick was a junior at Permian High School and now forever 17 years old.
He took a pill from a coworker, and we're certain that that's where he got it.
February 11th, 2023, Jackson's mother, Donna, and her husband, Larry Johnson, decided to go watch a movie and spend some quality time together while Jackson was at his dad's house. While at the theater, Donna received a call that would change her life forever.
My husband and I have gone to the movies, and I get a phone call. And I look down, and it's Jackson's dad. And I'm in the movie theater, and I don't answer, and I just kind of ignore it. So I'll call him when I'm done. And then he calls again, and I said, okay, something's up. And I'm answering the phone as I'm walking out, and I hear Jackson, and I hear dead. And at this point I'm saying, his phone is dead? What do you mean? What do you mean his phone died? And I finally leave the theater, and he says he's dead. He can barely make this out. I mean, he's screaming. It's really a blur. I remember calling my husband and I said, grab my purse. We have to go. We get to his dad's house, and all of the vehicles were outside, and nobody had lights on. It was quiet, and I was expecting sirens, and I knew at that point that he was gone.
The absence of police lights and sirens confirmed Donna's worst fears.
And I walked into the house, and I went straight to Jackson's bedroom, and there was a police officer outside of his room. And I was very demanding, and I said, I need to get in his room now. I'm Jackson's mother. And he said, no ma'am, I can't let you in. And I said, no, you don't understand. My son is in there, and I need to get in there to see him. I look back now, and I thank God that he followed his rules and did his job, because I don't think I wanted to see that. Now, I did at the time, but it's almost like you need to see something to believe it.
In that moment, Donna's world stood still. Her 17-year-old son, Jackson Lee Warnick, died of fentanyl poisoning.
You're answering questions like, where do you want his body to be taken to? And that's an answer a mother should never have to answer. What pains me now is I can't remember the last thing I said to him, what I said, when was the last time I talked to him. Did I nag at him? Because I was known to do that.
We now know that Jackson died after taking fentanyl-laced pills. This was confirmed by toxicology reports.
It takes a little while for you to get the toxicology report back, and we were right.
But leading up to that, the family says there were signs they recognized in hindsight.
There was a change. I think it was such a slow change that even after all this has happened, it's taken me saying to them, look at this change that happened over this amount of time, because it's hard to see that a change even occurred from the inside. He was so loved. He was so loved. He had everything like he could have wanted. There's such a stigma around this problem, and it's happening to so many people, that their family is dysfunctional and there's problems at home, and something had to have happened to them, and that is not true. The reality is that Jackson didn't know that he was taken. First of all, I do strongly believe this is the first time that Jackson ever took this pill, this drug. It just happened, and it could happen to anybody.
Tonight at 10, the suspect accused of providing Jackson with those lethal doses of fentanyl could potentially be free in less than 5 months. How will Jackson's family cope with this harsh reality, and what message does this send to all parents?
And organizations like the 111 Project are also working to raise awareness.
And they're working with local schools to produce commercials like this one.
Little does he know, last night when he went home, he sadly passed away in his sleep. His parents then found him the next morning.
According to the NCHS, in 2021, 106,000 deaths were documented, where 7 to 10 pills are laced with fentanyl, where every 5 minutes when someone takes that pill, they die within that time frame, where only 2 milligrams can kill at least 5 people. It can be compared to this many.
Fentanyl may make you feel like this, but it's only temporary. But eventually, it'll make you feel like this. And eventually like this. Is fentanyl really the right choice for you? With this video, we're partnering with Project 111 to spread awareness about the effects of fentanyl.
And you know, Maddie, that organization, they are not the only ones working to raise awareness.
That's definitely right, Mike. We talked to local healthcare workers who say they've seen this drug take lives every single day.
You know, it doesn't affect not only, just teens, it is everybody out there in our community. And I think shining a big light on it is really bringing awareness and helping our community come together and help these people. Addiction is something, it's an ugly, ugly disease. It's something even that sober people have to fight every single day. And I think if we can just be, as a community, nicer to people and more patient and be willing to be more patient and helpful with these people, then I think more people would try to, at least get some sort of help.
And there are others who are stepping in to help. The Springboard Center has been a safe haven for adults who are addicted to both drugs and alcohol.
And our Rick Dorsey got to check out the facility and their own battle against fentanyl.
We are a nonprofit drug and alcohol treatment center, and we offer the full spectrum of care. We do inpatient detox as well as inpatient residential. We offer intensive outpatient care, which is an evening after program, and we also have a fantastic sober living program. So really our program can extend all the way up to 18 months if that's what somebody's looking to do.
There are a lot of financial options available to help patients pay for the treatment.
We are in network with all major insurances, and we also have a wonderful relationship with the VA. So if somebody has VA benefits or insurance, and that covers the vast majority of it.
The fentanyl crisis is impacting the Permian Basin, but that doesn't mean that hope isn't on the horizon.
The heartbreaking thing is that the community needs it, but the wonderful thing is to be able to be a part of creating the other side of it, to helping people, to give them a place to come whenever they find that they do need that.
The Permian Basin Regional Council on Alcohol and Drug Abuse is now calling for fentanyl education.
That's right, and the organization says today is a chance to raise awareness about the risks of opioid use and educate the public about overdose prevention. Signs of an opioid overdose include slow or no breathing, pale, cold, or blue skin, loss of consciousness, and choking.
Naloxone, also called Narcan, is a safe and effective medication that reverses the effects of an opioid overdose. It's a critical tool in keeping an overdose from becoming fatal. Now, local lawmakers are also working to prevent the more deaths caused by this deadly drug.
Tragically, over 100,000 young Americans were killed by drug overdoses last year, with fentanyl driving a surge in those deaths. Social media platforms have become hotspots for drug trading, with parents often having no idea their child has obtained the substances. I introduced legislation to designate social media platforms as protected zones for children, like schools and parks.
Last year, I passed a new law to increase penalties for fentanyl distribution and allow fentanyl dealers to be charged with murder. In Texas, we're treating fentanyl like poison because that's exactly what it is.
And local law enforcement is also working to raise awareness, and they are speaking about their experiences with this dangerous drug.
Yeah, we've sat down with Ector County Sheriff Mike Griffiths to hear more about the drug from the law's point of view.
It's one of the saddest things you could be involved in. You know, you have to think of yourself finding your one of your loved ones, especially your child, dead in the morning after they went to bed. And it's happened many, many times here in the Permian Basin, in Ector County. People tell their kid goodnight and they're dead the next morning. It's heartbreaking. It is absolutely heartbreaking, and that's why I encourage parents to go through their kids' stuff, go through their phone, look at their Facebook accounts, messenger accounts, look through it all. You have that right.
And we will continue to raise awareness on the dangers of this deadly drug right here on your ABC Big 2 News.
You can also read more information and check out the resources available to people in West Texas right now on yourbasin.com.